Hello, welcome to my Forward Look video, and Parliament's now in recess. I'm in the office because I've got a lot to catch up on, but I thought I'd bring you to one of those places that people don't get to see in Parliament normally. That's the members' cloakroom, which has been empty at the moment, but lots of these hangers, all of which have a pink ribbon on. Why do you have a pink ribbon on? That's for members to be able to deposit their swords, and here somebody with a sense of humour has put a wooden sword. Another member, I won't name, has got a bit too far with the axe there. But anyway, the reason for that is in the olden days, when members wore swords, then they were required to deposit them rather than go to the chamber with them on. And for some reason, we still have this resource here today. Now, last week I spent 5 days in Israel and visiting the Palestinian territories with a number of other MPs and members of the House of Lords. A really fascinating trip, and I'm going to put together a more detailed video about our experiences. We got to meet members of the government, we got to meet some interesting startup businesses, some interesting charities, the head of the PLO negotiating team. We went to some of the new Palestinian developments which are happening, as well as visiting some of the more controversial settlements as well. Now, last year when I went to the Palestinian territories with a Palestinian medical charity, I did a public meeting in Shoreham to discuss what I'd seen, and I said I'd like to go back with the Israelis this time to get an alternative version, and so in the autumn I'll ask the Shoreham churches together again to organise a meeting for people to come along. I'll do a presentation and we can have a discussion about what is a very controversial subject. The interesting thing that happened when I was away, and I tweeted about it this week, is we bumped into Uri Geller, of all people, and this is what you get: 3 bent spoons autographed by Uri Geller, who happened to be a friend of the hospital we were visiting. A fascinating, if slightly curious character, and I've got some video of him actually bending some of the spoons as well. Now, Parliament's in recess, but there's a lot obviously still going on, particularly in the constituency, and I can spend more time in the constituency catching up with things that we couldn't when we were stuck at Westminster. So later this week I should be in Lancing at the Lancing Tab Church, where they're doing a project called Space at the Table, which is helping families and kids who would normally get free school meals at school, helping them through the holidays. It's a really good project. I want to go and see what they're doing and to lend my support as well. But I've got a meeting with councillors and officers from the County Council about school provision in Lancing, in particular what may happen with a proposed new school at New Monk's Farm. Then the following day I've got a meeting with the management of GlaxoSmithKline, and I was obviously really concerned for that announcement that came out last week from GSK saying they are reorganising their global production facilities of Augmentin, which they produce in various versions at Worthing, and that's going to involve some redundancies. That is very worrying, and I want to find out exactly how this is going to happen. They say it's absolutely nothing to do with Brexit, but obviously a lot of people rely on that factory. It's been in Worthing since 1948, so I'll report back on what the management have to say to me. I'm also going to be joining the local voluntary group Breathe Easy for their 20th anniversary celebrations, and then later on Friday I shall be opening the Lancing Art Exhibition as the president of the Lancing Art Club. I've then got surgeries, normal scheduled surgeries in Worthing on Friday. I shall be at the Shoreham Farmers Market for my normal street surgery on Saturday morning, and then the big event on Saturday is the Shoreham Horticultural Society summer show, so I should be back on my veg patch getting my entries into shape. And then finally we have shortlisted 3 categories for the Cutest pet competition. If you go onto Facebook, you'll see the shortlist in the dogs, the cats and the other pets category, and you've got a couple of weeks to vote for your favourite overall, so get voting. Now, the eco tip for the week is one of the key findings of the Climate Change Committee, which reported earlier in the year. Have your central heating thermostat at no more than 19 degrees C, unless it's really, really cold. This time of year you don't think of it, but for the rest of the year, make sure 19 is the top. If you haven't got proper insulation, various other things you can do and get government grants for, get proper insulation rather than overheat your house and then open the windows to let the heat out. 19 degrees is the recommended maximum level for your central heating.